Hello, Kerry from the Soap Coach here. This is a quick video about 3 quick wins or things you can implement before the new year to get you up and running for the new year. They're not magic wands, and I'll talk a bit more about that at the end, but they're just 3 things that you can look at and just see whether they are in place already or whether they need a bit of work. So let's dive straight in. First of all, refine your product names and descriptions. And I say that because most of us buy with emotion or we buy wanting results. So if you are selling, for example, a lavender body scrub or let's go with a lime and mint body scrub because that's a bit more exotic sounding, but it's still just a lime and mint body scrub. If you were buying that product, which would you rather buy? Lime and mint or a magical mojito body scrub? That's more of an emotion-based purchase, so it sounds really yummy, it sounds tasty. Or you could go down the lines of a detoxifying mint and lime body polish. Again, it gives you an idea of what it will actually do. So that's just a little indication of how we can change our product descriptions and make them, or give them a lot more curb appeal. That's probably what the word I'm looking for. I'm not suggesting that you go out and make claims or things like that which are not, that you can't back up, because obviously we can't do that. We need clinical trials to do that kind of thing, but just jazz it up a bit, use a bit of inspiration, use a bit of creativity and make them sound really yummy. And that will make a big difference to how people interpret your products. There is a caveat to that. Do have a look at your customer base, at your niche, and how they will interpret what you're selling. So, for example, if I was to be doing my dog products and I put something like mojito soap, I don't think that my dog owners would like that very much. They would much rather go with the results-based description. So do bear your customer base in mind. You can use AI to help you with this. So use ChatGPT or something along those lines. The more information you give AI, the better the result you will get back. And I've had some amazing results back, but you need to feed it that information. So that will mean that you need to tell it what you're selling, tell it who you are, what you do, who your customer base is, what kind of person your ideal customer is. So enough information for it to be able to come up with some suggestions, and then obviously tell it what you're looking for. So are you looking for it to portray the result that it will give, or is the result that it will give and again, it will come up with some better ideas the more information you give it. If you have your labels pre-printed and you've already got them all done and changing the name is a bit too much for you at the moment, at least try and rewrite the descriptions and jazz those up and make them much more appealing. And then you can use the descriptions in your social media and your emails and your copy and that kind of thing. My final top tip on that, while we're on it, and I will do a video on AI, is to give AI an example of your writing that you already do. That could be a social media post, it could be a blog post, it could be a description already, but just give it a description and say, this is how I write, or sorry, give it a link to the written work that you've already done. Tell it this is an example of your existing work and that you want to sound like you, because you don't want to sound like AI, obviously. So that's number 1, refine your product name and descriptions. Number 2 is tweak your social media strategy. And I hate to mention social media because it's the bane of so many of our lives. And I have got a lot of strategies around not using social media so much. And this isn't the place for it. Tweaking your social media strategy. We know that a consistent social media presence builds brand recognition, keeps your products in front of your customers, and gradually acquires you new followers. I'm far from perfect on that. I do fall off the radar, but I have got a lot better, and I have got a lot of processes in place now which make that easier for me. But number 1, it's all around really. Actually, no, let me roll that back a bit. So I'm not a fan of the social media gurus saying, you must do this, you must do that, don't do this, stop doing that, because actually it's not a one size fits all. And I've had plenty of posts where I haven't done any of that and they've done okay. So please don't feel that you have to do everything which you are told to do online. This is not a how to do it either. This is just a few ideas for you to have a little think about. Set yourself actionable goals. This follows on from my last video. So please don't try and tell yourself you need to post X million times a week, because you just won't do it. But set yourself goals that you know you can achieve. And then you'll feel great when you do achieve it. The next one is batch content creation, and we hear about it all the time. It really does work. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it does work. But again, there's quick wins that you can use. Templates are a brilliant way of doing things, and you can just change the text, change the photographs, or change the video on templates. So my Soap Suite members, I've just given them a whole Christmas toolkit, which includes 45 templates to use on social media, which they could change the colours, fonts, photographs, etc. But it just gives them some ideas and inspiration and speeds up the process for them. They don't have to think about what to post quite as much. My next one is, if you use Canva, keep all your social media post designs in a separate folder. And again, you can go back in then, and if there's ones that you've got all your branding on already, you don't have to do all that work again. You can just pop new pictures in, put a new caption with it. So just go back and reuse them. Have a look at the insights in your social media and see what's been well received in the past. And then if it was a few months ago, just repost it with a different image or slightly different text. No one is going to remember what you posted 6 months ago, but it will remind them that you are around and that you exist. And again, use AI for captions and inspiration, for SEO, for hashtag ideas, although hashtags are not quite so much of a thing anymore. But again, you can give it a lot of information and then ask it to create some captions or hooks for you. So let it do some of the work for you. And my final comment on that is repurpose content if you can. Now, I am the queen. You might not have even noticed, but I am the queen of repurposing content. And I will tell you what I do. It may not be suitable for you. It isn't suitable for everyone. It depends on your business and if you've got a niche and how much information that you can share. But I don't like spending ages on a social media post that will disappear after 24 hours and probably never be seen again. So I've got a really clear process in place now. Back in the day, I used to just do write a blog, which is great for driving traffic to your website anyway, write a blog, and then I would create social media posts from that. So I just pull out bits from it and pop in social media. And I used to do that all manually before AI happened. Now I create a video for YouTube, edit it, upload it to YouTube. Then I pull the transcript off and I put it in AI and I ask it to create a blog post for me from that. And I give it lots of instructions to make sure it sounds like me. And it's my words, it's just putting them in a more readable format. Sorry. Then I ask it to create some social media from that blog post. So I might ask it to create, pull out a couple of phrases or pull out something that can be used as a quote, and I use that for social media. I also chop up the video that I've done for YouTube and turn it into little bits for reels and shorts. Now, this is not going to work for all product-based businesses, so please don't feel that you need to do all that. But I just wanted to give you an idea of how I create one thing, so my YouTube video, then I turn it into a blog, then I turn it into reels, then I turn it into shorts, and then I use it for social media posts as well. So I get a lot out of that one piece of content. Obviously, it does all take time to do that, but it's better than creating lots of new things from scratch. Just creating something like a blog or a YouTube video is what's called evergreen content. So it stays there and it will get looked at months and years later down the line, unlike your social media post, which will disappear into the ether. For a product-based business, just to give you a bit of inspiration, I used to write not so much now because I just don't have the time, but I used to write blogs on things like, so bearing in mind my niche was dog products, dog grooming products, and I was a dog groomer. I used to write blogs on things like how to stop your dog shaking in the bath, what sort of coat type they've got, how to manage cockapoo coats because they are quite demanding. So blogs which would be useful to my audience and then have useful content that I could turn into social media. And again, you can use AI to help you with so much of that now. And the third quick win or little action that you can put into place is experimenting with pricing strategies. Pricing, it does not have to be stuck in stone. I know there's all sorts of calculators out there where you put in the product price or how much it costs you to make it, and then it comes up with multipliers depending on wholesale and retail, etc., etc. But that does not have to be stuck in stone. A lot of the time you are winning if you increase your average order value. So increase the amount that each customer spends with you on your website or on a store or what have you. So creating bundles, which I've talked about before, can be really good because it means they spend more on one visit to you. Other options are things like bulk buys. Now, I used to do a groomer's loaf for dog groomers and large dog families. So it was one loaf of soap, 13 slices, and I sold it for less than the price, a lot less than 13 slices of soap. But I could just make it. I didn't bother beveling it all. I didn't label each slice. I just put one label on the front. It was wrapped in brown paper. Really super simple, and I could turn out a lot of those because things like labeling, they do take time, don't they? So that is an option, bulk buying. And then if you are tech minded, you could look at things like subscription boxes, open boxes, i.e. people can keep placing orders, and then when it gets to a certain value, they get it posted to them, but they purchase each item at the time, and then when their box is full, it gets posted out to them. So there's a few ideas for you there about how to just have a little play around with pricing strategies. That is a whistle-stop tour. It is not a magic wand, as I say. Ultimately, if your business basics are not in place, the fundamentals are not in place, then this isn't going to work to get you more sales. It's not going to fix the leaky bucket, so to speak. In that scenario, you will need to do a lot of groundwork, and there's probably quite a lot of gaps that you need to plug to get everything running smoothly and then have these sales coming in. Your business is an ecosystem at the end of the day. Everything should feed into each other, and it should be obvious who you are, what you're about, and you should have a system in place for attracting buyers to you, or for finding people that will buy from you, and also for growing your audience so that more and more people get to find out about you. And there's a lot of systems and structures and processes that can be put in place to do that, but if you haven't got them, then there's no point in doing all this other work. Hopefully that makes sense. If you need a bit of help with that, I can help with that. I now have what's called a business growth audit on the website. It is a system where I will sit down with you for an hour in a Zoom call. I will go through lots of things with you and information gather, and then I will go away and I will look at what gaps there are in your business. And generally, I've done a few. Most people have got quite a few gaps, even those that seem to be doing really well. Often it's things that you're doing which are not serving the business or are not aligned as well. But I can do all this for you and give you a written report with a step-by-step roadmap for things that you need to implement to get the needle moving forward in your business again. So that's the business growth audit. It's on the website. It's £295, but it will give you a huge insight into what you need or what's missing from your business, and hopefully, move you forward. So I'll put the link to that below this as well. If you decide now is a really good time to invest in your business and you want to move forward with that, then just you can book it online. It's all available. And if you've got any questions about it, just drop me an email as well. All right then, I hope that's helped. Either way, there's lots of things there that you can get started on between now and the new year. Take care.